Hi, I'm Jeff Ludy, the window expert. Today I want to talk to you about FiberFrame fiberglass windows. Have you ever heard of fiberglass windows? Hey, welcome to planet Earth. Fiberglass is really big. It's a real popular thing now. Fiberglass has been around for a long time up north, like in Canada, for example, where they have extreme expansion and contraction due to their weather. It's somewhat newer to the United States. In fact, this product is from a company that was started in 1959. They started fiberglass in 1984, which means they have the claim of being the first US-made pull-through fiberglass window. And so these guys have had over 40 years of experience. They started this in 1984. In fact, they used to sell vinyl windows. They stopped selling vinyl windows in 1997 because the demand for this product was so great that they just basically took their whole facility and concentrated it on fiberglass. So they've been doing this since 1984. You've probably not heard of them. You said, Jeff, who's FiberFrame? I've heard of Pella Impervia. I've heard of Marvin. I've heard of Milgard. FiberFrame? You probably haven't heard of them because they're actually focused more on the commercial grade products. In fact, when they started doing this, they were doing a lot of what you see storefront, multifamily dwelling, upscale offices, things like that, where you're going to have like the demand for a more expensive, higher quality product, but you just haven't heard of them until recently when they started coming into the residential market. So now you're getting a commercial grade quality product with a nice, beautiful furniture-like finish designed for residential. That's kind of the problem I've seen with some other commercial products is they look great in the storefront, but you wouldn't put them in a house because they just look too industrial. Not this one. This one is absolutely beautiful. So what makes this fiberglass different or better than some others? Well, one of the things that makes this fiberglass better or different than other brands is that they use polymers and resins, which everyone else does, but they've actually improved their polymer and their resin over the last 40 years. It's kind of like the Coca-Cola recipe, right? People don't really tell you what they put in it, but here's what we do know from looking at their product and talking with their ownership is they actually have thicker walls than most product. Why? Because they want a thicker matting material. There's mats on the top, mats on the bottom, and then there's all these fibers woven in the middle. So the mats are what hold this resin, this what they call elastic modulus resin, and they have a higher level of elastic modulus on their product. It holds more resin, so when you hold more resin, you end up with a thicker wall. When you end up with a thicker wall, you end up with a stronger product. You also end up with a nicer, smooth finish, and we'll get you some close-ups of this. So unlike, for example, the product that's made by Pella, it's called the Impervia, where they don't use as thick of a wall on it, you're going to get a little bit more of what they call alligator skin. And we'll show you a close-up of what alligator skin looks like. It almost looks like duct tape or something. So is a product going to be affected as far as quality? Well, not so much, but it does have a better look when you have a nicer, thicker wall. So let me give you an example here. Watch this. This is a cutaway of the Pella fiberglass wall. You can see right there, and I'll get you some close-ups on this. And then this is a cutaway of the product made by FiberFrame. And as you can see here, this is the FiberFrame here. Look at the wall thickness difference between those two products. And you say, Jeff, does that really matter? Well, it does matter in some ways because when you have a thicker walled product, you have more strength, you have more sound resistance, you can make it in bigger sizes. You're going to just have an overall more durable product, and hence the difference between residential and commercial. Now here's another thing I think you should notice about this is I've got this 30-pound weight here for working out, right? So what I'm going to do, and this is, by the way, just for fun, this is not scientific. I don't want any more certified letters from Pella about this, but I'm gonna take and drop this thing on both of these and just to see how they respond. Okay. I did 3 little smacks on that one. Okay, let's try this one now. Well, I sure as heck did beat the snot out of it, but you see it didn't collapse on me. Now, if you have a big strong man walking around your house carrying one of these, that's gonna matter. But if you don't, this is just for entertainment, just for fun. Both of those windows are great products that are gonna last you for a long time. But I thought I should point that out. So people say, why fiberglass? Well, it's 9 times stronger than vinyl, and it's 3 times stronger than aluminum. So think about that. If you think vinyl's strong, you think aluminum's strong, this stuff is so much stronger. Now, one of the things they do is they use the corners, because you cannot weld a corner on fiberglass. So instead they have what's called a corner key. There's a key that comes inside of here that slips into here, and then it is actually screwed down. That's how they hold the corners together, right? And then you see that little hole there? Actually, that is filled with silicone sealant, which is also a glue that holds all of this together. So you actually have no chance of leakage here. Water can't come out of this thing. Air can't come through this. I mean, it's just going to be overall a much better finished product. So that's kind of the whole part about the construction with that. Now, one of the things about fiberglass that I like is the thermal expansion that you get, which is very, very little, but the thermal expansion you get is actually going to expand at the same rate as your glass will. So you say, Jeff, well, why does that matter? Well, because what happens is when you have expanding glass at one rate, then you do a frame at a different rate, you get this resistance between the frame and the glass. And sometimes that causes a seal failure. That's where the glass gets fogged up between the panes and you can't clean it out. And that is typically a warranty claim. Well, with this, you're going to have less of that. Now, this does have a slope sill on their single hung version. We'll get you a close-up of that and the watersheds from that. I want to focus primarily today on the casement because the casement and their fixed window are actually probably the products that you'll see the most. Now, one of the things I like about this is the weather stripping. So let me show you the weather stripping. This is a crank-out casement window. And as you can see here, there's 3 locations for weather stripping. And I think this is pretty cool. Number one, you've got weather stripping right here on the outside. We kind of call this like a bug weather stripping. This is going to actually help keep the bugs from actually getting into that frame where you don't end up having bugs just dying inside of there, which can happen sometimes. And then you have another weather stripping, and we'll get you a close-up of this, right here. And then a third weather stripping up against the inside. And these are all very pliable, very flexible weather strippings. And what I like about these is they will, with the heat and cold, they will actually adapt to the window. As the window expands and contracts, you're going to always have a great seal. In fact, I'd like to say, this might be a little bit of bragging, but with a weather stripping system like this, probably the only thing in your house that actually seals as well as a casement window like this would probably be your refrigerator door. This thing really does a good job of sealing, and therefore it's highly energy efficient, and it's quieter, and it keeps the bugs from coming in. Very easy to handle, this crank, very, very smooth. I wish you could just kind of feel how nice that works. And then when I get right up to this locking point, this has multi-point locks, one at the bottom, one in the middle, one at the top. I lower this lever like this, and boom, look at that. And check this out. It has a nice little nesting cradle for the handle, so it gives me a sort of a smooth, contemporary look. It's still a traditional window in the sense that I've got these nice grids on it, which I can do with the grids, I can do without the grids. But the beauty behind this is that I can make this window what I want it to be, and it's very well constructed. Now, the finish on this is an AMA 623 finish. This is a 2-part catalyst paint, okay? So it's a wet applied using 2 parts of catalyst, and then it, does its thing, and it's really well done. One of the things that I was so pleased to discover was that they have a very long relationship with Sherwin-Williams. You can pick any Sherwin-Williams color you want, and they will mix this with Sherwin-Williams to paint your window the color you want. They can make it in 2-tone, which means, let's say you wanted black on the outside, but you wanted a white on the inside. Awesome, no problem, they can do that. 2 tones of any tone you want, okay? And then for those of you who say, Jeff, I need stain, I want to stain the window on the inside, you can actually get a true oak veneer. Now it's very, very, very thin. It's just the veneer that goes on the inside, but you can get a true veneer on the inside of oak where you can stain that and get the exact look you want out of it. Now let's talk about glass. Well, they come in the 7/8 inch, 7/8 meaning that from the outside to the inside, we have a total of 7/8 of an inch. Kind of standard on most brands is a 3/4 inch. So 7/8 means that you have a little more dead air space, which means you have a little more argon gas in there, which means it's a little quieter and it has a better condensation rating and your home's more comfortable. And then they can go to 1 inch on some of their other products. So if you wanted a bigger window, it's going to have a deeper unit. And guess what? For really big units, they can even go to a 1 1/4 inch glass unit. So that's pretty cool. Now they have partnered with one of the manufacturers of glass that makes what's called Sentry glass, which means that you have glass that has lamination in it, which helps you where, say, storms are important to you or forced entry is important to you and you want that extra protection. In fact, I've got a little video, I'll roll you some of this. You can see this guy's coming up to this door that actually has Sentry protected glass, and he's smashing away at this thing, and it's just almost impossible to get in. So you know what they say, when seconds matter, the cops are only a few minutes away. So it's nice to have this kind of glass option in your home. By the way, this also has a STC glass option, sound transmission glass option, which reduces the penetration of sound in and out of your house. And by the way, I have a great video about STC so you can understand sound reduction windows, and that's up there as well. And if you notice, there's always this spacer. I'll get you a close up here, but see this kind of shiny metal part? That's called a spacer. That's the part that actually keeps the outside and inside panes separated. And in this case, we have the mill finish spacer, but they have an optional black spacer. So let's say that you wanted a black exterior and a black interior. Why would we use this shiny spacer? We would go ahead and get the black spacer in there. So these guys, in fact, I should point out, when you talk about FiberFrame, they are a boutique window shop, okay? I mean, this is really, truly one at a time, not off-the-shelf products. And they're so well built, and they're built to be what you want them to be. In fact, they have grids between the glass. If you want the grids between the glass, it makes it easier to clean. Or they can do the grids on the surface, like you see on this one, where the grids look more realistic, even though this is one big double pane sheet of glass. So the options are almost endless. They're a custom shop for SDLs. These are called SDLs. They can do whatever it is you want to do. Now, they do have options as well. If you're near corrosive areas, like if you're near the coast, for example, they have options for stainless steel hardware so that your hardware is not failing after 5 or 10 years of it being exposed. They have many, many dozens of hardware option finishes, many colors to choose from. And one of the things that people ask me all the time about this product is, Jeff, this looks so nice, it looks so good. I have 2 things I want to know, and I'm going to tell you both of those. One is, tell me, what's this window going to cost me compared to other products? And then the second question people ask is, what kind of warranty do I get? So this has a lifetime warranty. This lifetime warranty against the workmanship, the parts, the components, the glass, chipping, peeling, cracking, flaking, delamination, zombie attack. I mean, these things are pretty great. Price point? Well, price point, this is going to be for someone who's interested in a, quote, more luxurious product. If you're looking for a bargain basement product, I have some of those, but this is not one of them. This might be for someone who today you have a home where you have beautiful wood windows, but your wood's rotting and you want to go back with something that's a composite, something that's not going to fail. Dude, this would be a great, in fact, check out this video. Look at this house. This house is about a 19,000 square foot house. I don't know how big it is, but it's really big. And we put this product in there, and oh my God, you should have seen the smile on the homeowner's face. She loved how great it looked. It brought it up to date, but it wasn't too contemporary, okay? But it also did a great job of fixing and solving her problems. Oh, by the way, if you're in this Houston area, I'd sure love to meet you. You could come by our showroom. But if you need help with your window project, why don't you go check out thewindowexperts.com. And if I can't help you, maybe I can point you in the right direction. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I love the product. I think you should check it out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll talk again real soon.